Just when you thought there weren't any more beaches in the country left untouched, no lakes left unpolluted, and no coves left unexplored. You'll find the Calamian group of islands, a cluster of beautiful islands in northern Palawan with isolated white beaches, pristine lakes, and mysterious coves. One way to discover them is to visit each place, explore, test the waters, or just laze around and wallow in the surroundings. Discover the magic of northern Palawan on the sea, under the water, and above ground.
The scenery is the sea, the nice fish, beautiful.
Everything is good. The tour, the people, the food. Nobody can beat this.
The Calamian Islands, about 80 to 100 kilometers off the northern tip of Palawan, consists of the main islands of Busuanga, Coron, and Culion, plus a smattering of islets and reefs all around. One can reach Busuanga, the largest among them, and the main gateway to the area through a 1-hour flight from Manila via sea air. The 19-seater plane lands at the small YKR airport. The name is an abbreviation for Yulo King Ranch, a 40,000-hectare ranch formerly owned by the Yulos. The terrain of Busuanga consists of low, rounded hills and long ridges that surround some flat grassland used as grazing area for cattle. On the southern coast of Busuanga, 30 to 45 minutes away, is Coron town. Dibutunay, Pamalican, South Cay. It's hard to tell the difference between the islands. They all have clean, white sand beaches, warm, crystal clear waters, and lush coral gardens under the ocean.
Northern Palawan is a lot of, I would say, beaches and nice diving sites and all these things. If you really like a lot of beaches, go to Palawan. Harder to walk without shoes, but I don't have so many tourists here than in Boracay, so it makes it up.
The marine life is so rich, most visitors can't resist checking it out, even the first-timers.
I never thought I would love snorkeling before, because before I couldn't do it because of my eyes, but when once in the water, it was so peaceful, like you can commune with the fishes. You just stay longer and then you will feel good about it. That it's the peacefulness underneath.
A lot of different fish. It looks like you are in an aquarium. It's so nice. And everything intact, no broken corals, a lot of fish.
I was amazed that amidst all the stories that most of these places are being hit by destructive fishermen, there were still a lot of places where we can go snorkeling and also for diving. And probably because environmental movement in Palawan has been very active, the divers per se, those who cater to diving are very conscious about, what they offer, the environment. So they really do a lot of effort in doing their share, as well as the people, the local people here in Palawan. And that's good. That's a good sign that not only tourism will be here to stay, but likewise fisheries.
For many people, diving is their sole reason for a visit to the Calamians. The waters northwest of Coron Bay are a gold mine for wreck explorers, since they serve as the final resting place for a convoy of Japanese ships from World War II. In 1944, American aircraft were flying regular reconnaissance missions over these islands when they noticed a cluster of tiny green islands that kept changing positions from day to day. The soldiers realized they were not islands, but heavily camouflaged Japanese ships. The Americans attacked, and in just one day, September 24, a total of 24 ships went down, mostly in the waters between Lusong and Tangat Islands. Of the wrecks that have been located since, at least 9 are diveable, and most of them are in just around 30 meters depth of water. Aside from being well preserved, they provide divers a unique, historical, and almost haunting glimpse of what wartime naval ships were like almost half a century ago.
And wrecks present that kind of mystery. You have a structure, it has been well laid out here, and you expect something. Like you're manning the ship, as if sometimes you imagine yourself, the captain was here, the soldiers were here, or whatever. It's always like a scenario where you're making a story for yourself every time you go down there.
The Thai Maru, also known as the Concepcion Wreck, offers unusual penetrations with its narrow passageways and wide corridors.
It's a big ship. I think if you have to look for 1 hour dive from end to end, that would not be enough to appreciate the whole wreck.
The Thai Maru has become an artificial reef in itself. Coral, anemones, and a wide variety of fish inhabit it, seemingly attracted to its masts and posts.
They present to be like an artificial platform where fish can take shelter. The corals are now encrusting most of the hull, almost all the surface of the wreck, and it's a good thing. I could see a potential in doing not only training for our local divers, but it presents also a good training ground for some nearby countries who would like to really have good wreck diving training.